Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go Quick Look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and we got an interesting knife this time. This is the DaoVua Leaf Spring Kiri Cleaver, 180 millimeter knife. So you can read up on the site. Quality from this outfit in Vietnam has increased exponentially since they started with Mark, and they've had a great relationship and taken a lot of feedback and put that into play and just improve on their products and what clients are asking for. And they've got a wide variety of shapes now. So these are made with recycled auto leaf springs, and don't know what the heat treat is. It is mono steel. So they forge these and then grind them out on these electric grinders. And what's kind of cool about these mono steel carbon knives is sometimes they'll have a nice ping to them. And this does as well. You can set it down and hear it. Let me see if I can get you a ping here. So it's pretty cool. It's got a neat sound to it, kind of a ringing sound. The weight and dimensions on these are going to vary, of course, a little bit from knife to knife, but it's an interesting shape. They basically took a cleaver and they put a Karitsuke tip on it, and what that does is lighten it up a little bit. So it's kind of an interesting, choice on design. It's pretty cool. Looks really neat, obviously. The weight is about 246 grams or 8.7 ounces on this particular one. The edge length in this one's about 185 or about 7.3 inches. And then the overall length with this particular handle is about 13.1. The blade's not that thick. And again, this will vary a little bit, but this one's about 2.5 millimeters at the back, and I measured it about 2.5 at the mid part. And then we've got this corner here on the, the tip. So it pretty much retains that until you hit the grind. It's not ground particularly high, but they do thin it out at the tip pretty nicely. Here's the edge profile and the choil shots. This, of course, is pretty stiff, beefy blade. I've been very impressed with the consistency on making these straight, pretty decent. The grinds are getting better and better as they go, and so they just keep improving their quality. The handles are going to vary, and it looks like since I've had this for the videos, they've put some new handles on that are kind of different angle at the back, so you'll get various different handles, and over time they could be changing. So I won't go too much on the handle, but the handles are surprisingly nice with surprisingly good wood and shaping on them. So it'll be various woods. This particular one's about 74 millimeters, or right about here in circumference, but the new ones could be a little different. I don't know. As you might suspect, the handles are fairly light, and this blade's pretty heavy. So what that's going to do is bring the balance point right about there, my index finger, so it's right about where that logo is. And so for me on a pinch grip, that's pretty close, maybe slightly in front of where my pinch grip is, which is maybe right there. Yeah, it's a neat blade. It's got a little bit of mass to it. Sharpening, they've put an edge on it. I'd say maybe 5 out of 10. You can definitely get it sharper. And cool thing is they're easy to sharpen. The steel doesn't have the world's greatest edge retention. However, it's a good knife to practice on. The nice thing about this one, it's a tall blade, so it's easy to control your angle, and keep it pretty good here will translate into more consistency on your angle than a shorter knife would. Like sometimes petties and paring knives are a real bear to sharpen by hand, because every teeny tiny change you make, because they're so short this way, they're not wide, will turn big numbers on your angle. So this, you get a whole different angle, since it's so wide. I forget the exact technical geometric term for that, but you know what I'm talking about. So this will be easier to hold consistent, and then it's not super curvy. So this would be pretty easy to sharpen, and good practice, because you might be sharpening it a little more often than you might some other ones, but sharpening's fun, so hey, why not? So here's your profile, just kind of a little belly throughout. There you go. You could do some great tip draws here. Boom, boom, boom. Tip, tip, draw, draw. Not a particularly big flat spot, but anyway, you can kind of see what that looks like. Again, every knife might be a little different, especially with the style of knife, so it could vary a little bit. But very interesting blade. I think I covered pretty much everything. Let me get a beauty shot. I think I missed that. Need that. Let's get a little close-up look at it. Didn't talk about fit and finish too much. So you can see these are typical. They've got, everyone's going to vary a little bit. There's some screened on, etched in logo there on the right side of the blade. It's fairly dark. It'll vary blade to blade, but then kind of almost an Ashiji type finish to it. And you've got the Kudauchi built-in blacksmith finish. It's an all-reactive blade, of course. But everyone's going to be a little different, but very interesting. And again, I would almost say that's got a Nishiji pearskin type finish to it, so pretty cool. So there you go, really interesting package. You can check out some of the reviews on it and check the forums out if you want to ask anybody that's been using it what they think. So this is the DaoVua Leaf Spring Kiri Cleaver, a 180mm knife.